Hey guys, it's Craig. Here is Google's new Nest Audio, and here is Amazon's Echo 4th generation. Both have sound upgrades and new designs, but which one sounds better? Which one looks better? What are the differences between the two? There is a clear-cut winner in my opinion. Let's take a look. If you'd like to learn more about either one of these devices, check out the links in the description. Now before we go any further, this is not a video comparing Google Assistant to Alexa. It's not about that. I'm looking at the design, features, and sound quality you get for $100. If you're on the fence, this may be helpful. For some who have picked their preferred assistant, let's be real. Nothing I say will make you switch to the other. So this is a year of the design updates and sound upgrades. I will say both devices do sound better than previous generations. This one is a huge leap from the original Google Home. It also has won me over. I didn't think it was gonna sound that good because I've never liked Google devices, but this one did win me over. Now you can see individual videos on the Echo 4th generation and on the Nest Audio. Those links are in the description. Now before we listen to them side by side, let's talk about what these devices have in common, and then we'll go into the differences. Both start at $99.99. During the holidays, we'll probably see them for about half the cost, or at least a significant discount. Both have new designs. Amazon went with the Death Star, and Google went with something that blends into your house more, in my opinion. Now, when it comes to the design between the two, I'm not a big fan of the colors that Google picks all the time. Luckily, they do keep a white, they have a black. But when it comes to the design between these two, I'm gonna call Google the winner on this one. This, love, hate, accept, take it in because you like your Echoes. Yeah. There's all kinds of feelings on this one. But it does have a mount on the bottom so that you can somehow get a huge, ridiculous mount and screw it into it. Or if you can mount something to this wall, you can just screw it on there and have this thing hanging on the wall. That's an awesome design. Okay, I'm being mean to Amazon. I do like Echoes. I'm just really... Now both of these design updates are part of the new audio updates. Google and Amazon both ditched the 360 audio with down-firing speakers that would just distribute the sound all around. Instead, these are built like traditional speakers with a front-firing design. That means you should be in front of them to get the best sound out of them. I don't know what Google's recommendation is, but Amazon says about 6 feet away at head height is the optimal listening position. Now both of these do have 3-inch woofers and about the same size tweeter. The Nest Audio has a single 0.75-inch tweeter, and the new Amazon Echo 4th generation has two slightly bigger 0.8-inch tweeters. I will say the additional speaker does give it a more open sound. There are two tweeters for stereo sound, but they're right here. You're not going to get a lot of separation. Both of these speakers do get loud, not a scientific test, but I used my Apple Watch sound meter, and basically a conversation reads around 50 to 60 decibels. A lawnmower is around 90 decibel. So if you go to a concert, it's around 120 decibel. Here's a look at the readings I was getting right next to the Echoes. Of course, the volume will drop as it goes, but you'll see we're pushing to about 100 decibels at this point. Now, anything above 90 decibels will cause hearing damage over time. Of course, the higher it goes, the quicker the damage. Now, where they differ, first starts with that additional speaker on the Echo. The Echo 4th generation also has a Zigbee hub built in, along with a temperature sensor, while the Nest Audio has no additional sensors, no hubs. Personally, I could care less about that hub in there. The temperature sensor is a nice bonus. In reality, though, I make requests, I get information, and audio tends to be the most important part. Now, another feature that's really cool that is the line in and out. So if you wanted to hook this up, say from a device directly into it with a 3.5 millimeter, you can do that. Or if you wanted, and this is probably more true in the case of an Echo Dot, but let's say you have this for casual listening, you wanted to do a line out to your stereo. When you want to get a little more serious about your sound, you plug your Echo into your sound system so you can stream your music. but up the sound quality. But when it comes to additional features, I have to say this would be the winner between the two. At this point, it's a draw. The most important and tie-breaking category is the sound. This is an area that matters to me, and a lot of people who do some casual listening around the house, you just want to call up some music, hear something that sounds pretty good, but not turn on a full sound system. You just want to bring up some music, just sing some songs, have some fun. Let's do two tests. First will be with default settings out of the box, and then we'll do a second test after trying to mess with the EQ to get the best sound out of it to my ears. Now, before I do these sound tests, this is not a scientific test. Does this room look like this picture? No. I'm using what I have here. I have recorded this with 3 different microphones and used the one that sounded most like what I was hearing. Now, with that being said, it still is a recording that you are hearing. You're not in the room with me and my opinions. Plus, sound's subjective, so that makes us both right. So no need to get all angry in the comments if you don't agree. You know who I'm talking to.
I see a sky with a reindeer covered under running. I see a train moving all too fast, but I'm not leaving.
Oh, here you are, face to face in this trashy bar. Another glass and I am going places, makes me laugh.
Now, after the first test, I ran this at 50% and I had to bring this down to 40%. Maybe the additional speaker gives it a little more power. On the Nest Audio, the bass seems a little low. The highs, they're clear. I like the highs on them. Now, the Echo 4th generation, I don't think I'd want any more bass than that, but I feel like the highs need to come up, like they're getting lost in there somewhere. And the mids, there's a lot of mids. I do feel like the Nest sounds crisper in the high ends. I'm going to adjust the EQ. Both of them do have adjustments to them. With the Echo, you have 3 sliders to get you your bass, mids, and highs. With the Nest Audio, you have your bass and your treble. With the Nest Audio, I think it needs as much bass as possible and more treble to enhance those highs a little bit more. Now, I think the Echo 4th generation is going to need more high end out of it because the bass seems like it's enough. It could get overwhelming if you take it up too high.
I see a sky with a reindeer covered under running.
Oh, here you are, face to face in this trashy bar. Another glass and I am going places, makes me.
Before hearing the Nest Audio, while listening to the Echo 4th generation, I felt it was a solid upgrade from the Echo 3rd generation. Then I started listening to this, and the best way I could describe it was similar to a move from the AirPods to the AirPod Pros. The AirPods were good. This sounds good. But then you hear the AirPod Pros or you hear the Nest Audio, and it feels like this just has a bigger range in it. This, you feel the bass more. You hear more bass, definitely has more bass. This one, you're getting more bass than Google, I feel like, ever has. You hear it, you don't feel it, but I feel like you got to take that up all the way. On its own, the Echo sounds good, and I like listening to music on it. But after listening to both of these speakers a lot, and as someone who uses Echoes all around the house, it pains me to say this, but it is a clear-cut winner for sound out of this device, in my opinion. I don't know what it is. It just felt more enjoyable. It did feel balanced. I felt more rumble, but It's that high end that got me with the bass that's been added. Plus, I like this design better, and some of the features just don't get utilized on this for me, such as the line out and the Zigbee hub. Now, I would still like a little more bass out of this, so don't give up on that bass game, Google. Now, you might need to tweak it out of the box to get the best sound for you. But what I found with the Echo 4th generation, there wasn't any amount of EQ on the Echo that got it as clear and crisp as the Nest Audio. But like I said before, the choice and assistance is probably going to be more important than the minor sound differences between the two. Both put out good sound for $100 speakers. From what you hear through the video or your own experience, do you have a preference? Next, make sure to check out this video over here so you can learn about this new Echo, and then this one up here so that you can learn about this Nest Audio. I'll see you over there. Thanks for watching. Bye.